Well, good evening, sir. How are you?
Barring any more technical issues, pretty good tonight.
Yeah, just so everybody knows, StreamYard's not on our side tonight. We're doing the best we can with all these technical difficulties, but we'll make it through.
Always try to, at least.
Okay, well, first up on the agenda is my show for this weekend. Bang in the South was canceled due to location. So we'll be in Muscle Shoals on the 14th at Cartoons. Maybe that'll be a great show because those shows were awfully close together anyway.
Got it. And looking at that one now, that's actually, you got that on a Sunday, right?
Yes, sir.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm starting to really like these Sunday shows because a lot of my lane runners tend to work Saturdays to be able to afford this stuff.
Makes sense. Got to have a hobby to pay for all the goodies that we do play around with.
Absolutely.
You know, honestly, and now that I'm looking at a map of it, I honestly thought Muscle Shoals was down along the coast more toward Mobile.
No,
and realized that it was literally almost in Tennessee.
that's it. And this is such a great shop. Man, they put out some really amazing lane runners.
Excellent.
This is the shop that Kurt Davis, our champion for Stealth and Boss, he is their lead installer there.
Ah, very nice.
So if y'all need some SPL work done, Cartoons of the Shoals can get it done. So what else
Not
we
bad
got
on that.
available for shows this weekend?
Well, we've got yours coming up. That is in 2 weeks.
Right?
This weekend, it looks like we only have one show coming up, and that is, and I hope I'm going to pronounce the last name right, for Richard out there in Fresno while he's doing this show, because it is a fundraiser show. This is the Angel Aragon, or Aragon, if I'm pronouncing it right, more of the Lord of the Rings kind of sounding name there with Aragon. But Angel Aragon, the fundraiser stereo show. If you don't know anything about it, unfortunately, um, I'm not really the best to describe what the show is about, but the Aragons out there had a tragedy happened after another show a couple weeks ago or a couple months back, and Richard is doing a benefit show for them out there in Fresno at Audio Concepts. That is all that I know about it, unfortunately. I wish I knew more and could speak a little bit better about it, but I know that it is a benefit show for their family. And if you have questions, contact Richard Papason. He will be more than happy, or Audio Concepts, I'm assuming as well. Either one of them would be more than happy to tell you all about what they've got planned and what they're going to be doing out there for this benefit show for us. So either way, should be a great show.
His shows are always great. No
Very
matter
true.
what, he pulls in a large crowd and he does a really clean show every time.
Very, very true. Now it looks like, let's see. So that one is Saturday, by the way, at 10 a.m. Otherwise, Richard is the only show we've got happening this weekend. We even had a show last weekend too that Pop Tart threw on for the end of the year. I saw results were posted either yesterday or late Monday night or yesterday about that. So all you guys and gals that participated out there at that one, please go check out the results. I know Billy works. He puts 5-minute things together once in a while, and then he puts hour-long things together other times. And most of the results pages, one of those hour-long things, are not something that we can just paste and cut and put in there. Although that is kind of what it is, but there's a little bit more to it than that. So go check out the results if you particular show.
There was another show last weekend,
Were there
the
two on?
Gulfport show.
Oh, you had that's
All
right,
of us
Gulfport.
headed to Gulfport.
I forgot
And
about that. I'm sorry.
that parking lot was full. I walked up and even Billy Temple standing there.
I was going to say I forgot about that one because that actually was on New Year's Eve.
That was a great show. Jordan did an amazing job with that show. Never seen that parking lot quite that full. Jordan did amazing this time with it. That was our straight eight.
From what it shows me, the straight eight base New Year's Eve bash, that was Gulfport. It shows, for me anyway, it shows 2 friends and 90 guests. And I know who the 2 friends were that were at it because I could see their logos or their profile pics. And for Pop-Tarts, it showed 1 friend and 27 guests. I think a lot of the guests did not sign in for Pop-Tart show because I'm pretty sure he had a lot more than 27 names on his list of results that came out. So if you are going to those shows, folks, be sure you like the shows or at least give us a thumbs up or something on the profile where you're at and take some pics. Send them back to your judge as well because we'll get those pics out there as well. We'll tag you in them if we got your name, and whoever took them, we'll get you the credit that's due on all of them as well.
Exactly. Good evening, Mr. Carr.
Hey,
Mr.
there's
Keith
Jane and
Clean
William.
Audio.
Excellent.
Good to see you in here. I have a show coming up with him in a couple months. Can't
Excellent.
wait. Pulling in a Kansas City judge to go do a show with.
Uh-oh. I'd worry about those Kansas City judges. Well, one of them I trust, the other one I kind of trust.
Yeah, we trust Sonia.
Exactly. Trust Sonia. She's always running the computer. And by the way, if you don't know who Sonia is, make yourself known to Sonia. In fact, make yourself known to all the judges. We can
Absolutely.
do pretty much anything you want for judging and
All
making
right.
sure that your name is there and everything spelled right, because Sony's the one putting that info in, as is Melissa, as am I.
This is
And
one of my favorite lane runners. Is
there we
there
go.
a clamp class for 415s?
Since he's your favorite, I'm just going to shake my head yes and say that we can do that for any class, but specifically, yeah, we can do that.
Yes, there is a no wall class just for you. We got you covered no matter what y'all want to do in the lanes. At this point, we have enough classes that everybody gets to do something fun.
Mm-hmm.
It isn't just roll up and burp anymore. It's
What?
roll up and tell us what you want to do. You
I
want to
just
play
roll up and
music?
burp.
We can do that.
I just roll up and burp. What am I doing wrong?
Hey, some of us still like to play music.
I like to drive 8 hours to a show up for 45 seconds and say, wow, there was a waste of 8 seconds on each side of that 30. Wait, that'd
Oh,
be
come on now.
46.
I need to run a sweep. It's gonna take me more than just 30 seconds.
Oh, nope. I got a quick sweep. I've got a slow sweep. I've got Matthew, I could do that as well if we needed to, although I've already played for 8 hours if I'm driving 8 hours to a show. And
Matthew, I
chances
hope
are,
you're feeling better.
man, yeah, that too. Don't get
Whatever
over
we
the
got
weather,
out
man.
in Texas, man, it made us all sick.
Music is an option, William. I generally don't play too much in my car because it's not built for it. Well, some of you guys know what car I drive, but it's not the easiest car to get music into in the stock location because the stock locations blow up my kneecaps. Literally, the speakers are aiming at my kneecaps and my festiva. But it is fun regardless.
Good evening, Mr. Brandon. Have
There's
you got any
Brandon.
shows coming up, hon?
Brandon's got a couple things. In fact, I was talking with someone last night on the messenger and mentioned Brandon's name, and I had to go back into the guidebook and find out who our other Indiana / Michigan, Ohio area judges were. And I completely forgot about Tony on there and mentioned Tony all of a sudden as well. But yeah, I mentioned Brandon last night in a message. So, Brandon, you might get someone asking you all about a car coming up to one of your shows. It is in Michigan. So, I'm not sure if that would be you, if that would be Tony, if that'd be someone else, but we can hook you up.
Good evening, Joe. Good to see you in here.
Alex, wish you had a system.
Good
Everybody's got a system.
evening.
If you want to throw a Bluetooth speaker in your car and play it through your phone just to get your points, or not points, but your show entry into your 5 to get there to finals, it'll count. I won't be that picky about it because I've seen Bluetooth speakers in cars do well over 130 before.
Better than mine right now. My poor car's gutted.
In fact, I used to test with a buddy of mine. We would test with a 30-watt Bluetooth
Good
speaker
evening.
because it was always the same power. We knew what it had. And I would throw that little speaker in the sub box and test it. And yeah, Matt, I will be more than happy to test you on the table. I've heard about some of your systems. I will be more than happy to test yours from the
All
table.
right.
Especially
Yes,
if
we
it's
can
6 feet
throw
away
that
and it's for,
meter on the table, especially if it's your birthday.
especially if it's 6 feet away and it's for crowd loud.
Good evening, Mr. Brad. He's one of our motorcycle guys.
Even better.
Yep, he's out there representing Gale Force just as hard as I am.
And yeah, Alex, if you don't have a system in your car, just simply showing up and getting your show quality entry, if you will, or your show entry for the 5 that you need for finals, that's fine. Show up, we'll put you in the right class for it. If you're supposed to be in Assassin or Ninja or whatever other musical class, if you want to do Typhoon, we'll measure it. As long as you've got an entry for it, it's going to count toward finals.
I've been having a lot of people ask about Hurricane class.
Oh,
Everybody wanting to go low here lately.
19 hertz and under.
You should have
It can
stopped
be
by.
very brutal.
I would have loved to have seen y'all.
Man, it's not something you're going to hear in that Hurricane class. You're going to be able to feel it. You might not be able to hear it, but you're going to feel it. And you get that right, Brad.
That's some good stuff.
I've been talking to Melissa about them for the last 2 weeks, and I'm going to have a 2-minute conversation with her after the show.
Oh, hell, I figured y'all were already set up as a dealer at this point.
Man, there's a great question from Kenneth. What if you can't make a show? Can a teammate run your car and still get you the points for finals or the shows for finals? I'm going to have to read the guidebook on that one because it doesn't say anything about it in there.
I would say that is a gray area.
I like gray areas. So if Joe wants to show up with my car or with Melissa's car and get Melissa points for it, if Melissa is known to come to my shows, but she tells me that, hey, Joe is going to be running my car this weekend, do you mind? As long as you're in the right class and you kind of know what you're doing.
I would say as long as it's that car that's going to finals.
Yeah. If it's the same car, yeah, I'll take it.
Because I've had people run my car in the lanes just because it's just easier.
Mm-hmm.
Throw my keys to somebody else who can drive a stick shift and say, hey, just run it through, burp it, do whatever it wants to do, let it go. You ain't even got to be hard on it. Just, make it make noise.
Yeah, and I've gotten in competitors' cars and gotten them better scores, and then gotten in their teammates' cars and gotten them better scores than the other teammates. So it was kind of one of these things for 4 or 5 runs, and now they're back down here again. But, little tricks of the trade as well. Maybe you might be louder than Melissa in her little XP, or maybe Melissa's louder than Brad on his bike.
Oh, well, you know what's weird? Different size people can affect that meter. Like my car likes it with just me in there. It doesn't like a whole lot of the cabin taken up. I have some that we throw a bunch of people in and it does really well.
You're shrinking that cabin area.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I'm like category.
After seeing Bagger Nationals, yeah, I might really end up with a bike soon.
Sandbagger Nationals? What?
Yeah.
I think we got a few of those guys in here tonight as well. Well, maybe they haven't shown up yet. I haven't seen a couple of. Oh, no, there's one. Sorry, Shannon, I'm picking on you there. And probably Brandon, too. But Brandon is one of the judges, so he knows all about sandbagging.
Good evening, Shane.
130, 135 all year, and then all of a sudden at finals, we'll be doing 150. It's the way to do it.
All right. This brings up something. There isn't a base
Yeah,
wars judge out there that will not sit and have a conversation with you about what you need. All
true.
of us are available, just not at 2 a.m. Messages at reasonable times, and we'll get back to you as soon as we can. But keep in mind, some of us have day jobs, like Jimmy and Sonia both work day jobs.
Yeah, if I was up at 2 a.m. all the time for every message that I saw come across, well, my phone would be dead, which, hey, look at that. My phone's dead.
Yeah. See?
It does happen. And yeah, we are, if you've got a question and we're knowledgeable enough about it, I'll try and answer it for you. If you've got a really weird, off the wall, one of a kind question about some 83 Corvette, something or other, I probably can't answer that. I don't know anyone that can answer those questions, honestly, though. There's a reason behind that question in that particular car, too. So,
Yeah, I heard Greg had minions doing it for him at this point. He's above manual labor. No, we love Greg. Greg puts on some amazing shows. Like he's got High Voltage coming up, Thunder in the Smokies, but he does the same shows pretty much on a regular basis. And he has gotten to where he goes down to Florida quite a bit to do some shows.
I would
But
love to get back down into the 305 area code in Florida and do a couple shows down there.
he's
Miami
got,
and the Keys have always been good to me. Northern Florida, not so much, but south end of Florida, I would love to get down there and do some.
I think Greg's got Eastbound Get Down coming up.
I'm looking now. Let's see. That one is coming up this Saturday, right before Richard's out there in. Oh, geez, where's that one at that Richard has? San Diego. Man, he's going from Fresno to San Diego, and then like the weekend after that, he's got another one. Actually, he's got like 10 shows already scheduled for this year. I think he
And
might be the judge of the year already.
man, he covers some ground big
He covers
time.
more ground out there just doing that than I would do in a week normally here doing my other.
All right. When is Thunder in the Smokies?
Ooh,
I know High Voltage is April 28th, 29th. Same thing every year.
I was going to say, I don't see anything listed for it yet, but I thought I saw something on one of the other Facebook groups earlier today. I do see the
All
Smoky
right.
Mountain jamming, but I don't see the Thunder in the Smokies yet.
Labor Day weekend.
There
That's
you go.
from one of the Tennessee guys, so that's reliable.
The Kelly one.
High Voltage is the 27th this year.
There you
Day
go.
before my birthday.
When you turn 22 with a couple more
And
years of experience.
I ain't even gonna lie, I don't mind being old. I really don't. My 20s were rough.
When we start having more years of experience at an age than our actual age, that's when it becomes a problem.
All right, Brandon, you want to throw an address up?
Ooh, there we
You
go.
got one May 11th, and it looks like a charity event for puppies. We can all get down with that one.
Definitely.
I love some charity events.
Basic. That is coming up in May, actually. Is that the
Let me
Saturday
answer
before?
this real quick. Did we get Hazel Green scheduled? Hazel Green is not scheduled, but we do have the go ahead for the whole year. We managed to get that much. So we will be back in Hazel Green this year. That makes me happy, happy, happy because that's one of my favorite locations. All right. Huntington, Indiana for the Basin with Paul's.
Nice. That is the Saturday before Mother's Day as well. So I would say adopt a puppy and bring it home to mom.
Oh, Lord, don't say that. My kids are listening.
Adopt a puppy, bring it home to Melissa.
No, no, no.
Find a nice little, ankle biter, little min pin, something like that. Something small, little chihuahua.
Oh, Brandon has a whole fairgrounds to go play in.
Brandon, I might be driving out to that one then. I bring my mom with me too.
Yeah. Team Flex not gonna be rolling when it goes to these shows. I can't think of a month that I haven't left my state yet. Y'all don't bring me another pet. Seriously, I can't sleep for that cat I got now.
Yeah,
Yes, I am absolutely grateful to have our Hazel Green location. That is the most chill little spot we have ever done. It's just a whole different vibe out there. Oh,
Great Dane, great dogs as well. Big lap dogs. And by big, I mean, this high at the shoulder to Melissa. Which is kind of true. They might look you directly in the eye or over your head. I've seen some very large.
Mama Bones getting another rebuild. Love it.
There you go. Yeah, we've got in the last couple of weeks, I have seen us go from about 6 or 7 shows to, let's see, including finals on there, 2, 4, 8, wow. 16, 18, 20, 22. I was going to say we've added about 20 shows in the last 2 or 3 weeks, with the exception of about 3 of them, I think maybe 4 that Richard had on there. We've got 24 shows showing up right now, including finals, which for the current iteration, unless Billy changes something, is going to be the first weekend of October. Always. Right. Just because nobody else has them then. But hey, it's a pretty decent weekend for everything.
What did you miss about Hazel Green? We got our approval to go back for the whole year. I know we're at least doing one car show there. And the rest of the dates we are working on scheduling between my schedule and his. And considering how many little leagues run out of that ballpark, give me a minute, but we are getting it done, and we probably will have a show starting in February. But we're working on it. Oh, there's my little loud XB. Good evening. One more team flexing on them.
There's John. Still waiting for David to show up. I haven't seen a comment from David yet on here. Oh, yeah. Jesse, if you got a favorite show spot, you got to show up for those, regardless if your vehicle is ready or not. It's one of those things where, even if it's not us, even if it's just a regular car show or something else, go out there and spread the Base Wars word, because you get people that might not know of us in the area. And it's even better if it is across the street from your house. It is better. Or just stay in your own driveway in that case and broadcast it that way.
Oh, well, that location does extra stuff for us, like that give us fireworks shows, car shows. It's very nice. Yeah, I saw something that identifies as a Jeep. Can you please explain this? And if you want to come on to explain what you're doing, I would be tickled to have you because I saw a Blazer with half a Jeep on it. And I kind of know what that means, but I am curious. All right. Give me 1 second. I'm going to send you an
Oh,
invite, sir.
Nick, I'm looking at your profile right now, and I'm kind of liking the first picture that's on your big profile pic on top.
Yeah, I've got enough curiosity to me to
Oh,
you go
dude, what
ahead
are you
and
doing to that interior, man?
explain.
Oh, wait a second. No, I don't know what that is. I was looking at the steering column there, but
All
that's
right, there you go,
is that
Nick.
actually a Jeep?
All right, what we got here? No,
Oh, definitely.
yeah, it don't matter what you got. I'm excited to see you.
I've had my mom's friends show up at a couple of shows, and it's rather interesting when you get some 80-year-old people showing up at these shows because they always have questions about why and how much and things like that. And I'm like, well, it's more addictive than drugs and it's possibly more expensive than drugs, but it's cheaper than a divorce and it's probably caused a few divorces.
Uh,
So it's,
a bunch.
we can always have fun with the Base Horse family, regardless of where you're at.
What my
And
favorite ones are the ones that have never had a demo before,
oh, yeah.
and they come to a show for the first time, and somebody's over there scalping them. That shit makes me laugh like
It, it,
nobody's
it,
business.
it sounds like it's mean, but it
It
really
is
isn't.
not.
It's not because
I
because you have
love the
to
initial
the
panic.
proper initiation.
They
It's like
don't know whether to get out or to sit there and enjoy it.
most of them get out because they don't know what else to do and they're panicking. It's like freshmen on the first day of high school.
Yeah, as long as the venue owners know how loud we're going to get,
True.
sometimes it's overwhelming to them. And we try to explain this before we go into this, but
Hmm.
occasionally they don't understand. So, yeah, those are always fun.
Yep. The best story I've ever heard about that from Jerry.
He is not joking about this. Jerry Jaco had these prides in there, and I didn't look. He just messaged me, "Hey, come get a demo in the shit box." And I'm thinking, okay, I don't know who he is yet. I just ran over and jumped in the thing. Didn't look. This mug was floating me all over the damn place. I'm holding on to the stripper bar to hold myself down, and he is just beating the all mortal hell out of me. That was one of the best demos ever. Absolutely love those prides in his vehicle.
I could definitely see the same thing happening with a few around here. I was going to say right before that that the as long as your venue provider knows what we're doing, it's great. But the best story I've ever heard about that was Kip on the Kicker Live show about a year, well, maybe 2 years ago now. He was talking about when Alma Gates was out in Vegas at a show, and they told the venue operator what was going to be happening. And about 30 seconds after Alma did her 163 or 164, she might have been doing even louder than that. The general manager of whatever hotel they were having the show at or whatever convention hall, comes out and says, no, no more. And they were like, well, I thought you said you guys knew what loud was. And
Well, that's
well,
like when they were in Vegas and they
the
invited
same
us
thing.
to SEMA. Uh,
Yep.
oh,
It
all
might have
right.
been it might have been the SEMA show, actually, now that I think about it.
We have Mr. Nick gonna join
Oh, there
us.
we go.
Hi. All right. It's awfully
How y'all
dark
doing?
there.
Hey, Nick.
Yeah, I'm in my
Good to
truck
see
driving.
you. Okay, you
Good to
got any
see you
light
too.
for us so we can see you?
Is that a little better?
Yes, sir. We can see you now.
That's cool.
So, tell me what you got going on with yours to start with, and then I'm gonna ask about Mama's.
I am currently took all the wood out of the front, and I'm gonna go back with steel tubing and steel plates on the floor and the roof, the dash. I'm gonna do the doors. I'm gonna bolt the doors shut because I'm tired of strapping them shut,
Right.
and I'm gonna build the windshield, but keep the stock windshield on the outside.
And it looked like you used the A pillars from a Jeep.
Nah, that's the stock. That's the stock A pillars on the Blazer. They're just really thin.
Okay.
Now, is this
I
now,
got
Nick,
it.
is this the same one? I'm looking at a short little video clip on your profile right now with all of the foam and the red and green and pink interior in it.
Yep.
Yes.
All
Yep.
right.
Yeah,
All
I'm gonna
right.
do
I
steel
could see
tubing
some good work.
across the dash, and I'm gonna do steel tubing on the floor and on the roof. Then I'm gonna cover it with 1/4 inch steel plate, and then
Okay. You do know this ain't legendary anymore, right?
oh yeah, I figured it'd fall in a, I figured it'd fall in its own little class as usual.
Oh, yeah.
But
But at
the
least you
the
and your wife will
Directly into
be
the
destruction,
goat.
running the same class this year.
the destruction it does every show is getting old. So I
This would
figured
be
it'd be
directly
easier
into
just
the
to go
goat's
ahead and
class.
do the full extreme life than try to be the extreme life with a wood build. So
Right. And you aren't far off anyway. You had most of this done.
yeah, I just had to tweak it and modify it a lot better than what it was. Even
And
the wood inside was breaking. Main
yeah,
part was the doors. I
that
I
Blazer Dash wouldn't held up one show with him.
the realistically my doors were stock. Like I didn't have any deadener inside it. They was stock doors with just a piece of MDF for a door panel to hold my speakers. That's why they took such a hard beating all the time.
Well, is Mama's gonna come back out as it was at the end of last year?
It will come out looking the same, yes, but we're going to be adding power. I'm gonna add another alternator. I'm gonna put another C Max in it. So I'm hoping that she's actually gonna be at where I was. What's she say?
Wifey's calling him out.
I think the better half was calling you out there, Nick.
Gonna
What's she
kill
say?
somebody with them doors.
Oh
But she's
yeah,
not
yeah. The
lying.
doors sucked. They was bad.
His doors
Uh,
flat like Dumbo. But
I
that's what
mean, I
you
mean,
should
even
expect at
even with the toe
65 plus.
straps, even with the toe straps on them, they still broke. Both the both the driver and the passenger door, the hinges broke again, even after I welded them and put bolts in instead of the regular door pins. So it was time for the upgrade. We're gonna be working on that for right now, and
Mm,
then I'm gonna be adding power to hers. Of course, this is probably the first time she's heard about that. She knows about the C-Max, but we're gonna do probably add another amp, add another alternator.
Gotta have power to make power.
Beth come out last year with her new build, and man, she just annihilated that vehicle first run out. I can't wait to
Yeah.
see
We
her
put
get right.
we took the 1012 or the 1210s out of hers and put the 615s in. And the very first show, she broke. I think the last count I remember was like 56 screw heads
Mm-hmm.
off in the wall. So I had to go
But
back with some steel on it.
for those that don't know Beth, she comes out and she plays as hard as it will play. She gives it
Yeah,
no mercy.
yeah,
Excellent.
she don't care.
She is one of the
She
best lane runners out there.
she has a mentality like me. Break it, we'll fix it later.
No, she has the mentality if she breaks it, you will fix it.
What he breaks, he will fix. What she
That is
breaks, he will fix. That's
That's
sounds
right.
about right. Sounds
Oh,
accurate enough.
yes. Mama Boom's exactly that way too. And that brings me to this. The women come out and play different than y'all guys. We play like we got something to prove.
Yeah,
Yeah,
she loves to compete, but she'll tell you hands down she loves demoing.
oh, she's really good at it. She likes talking to the people too.
Oh
And
yeah.
Brett didn't even have to turn his up this weekend. He was just over there demoing like nobody's business. He was like, yeah, I might have to turn it up. No, didn't have to. But it seemed to be playing really well. All right. That happened, man. That just means you need to build bigger for her.
Bigger and better.
Did you ever put a loading wall on yours yet, Melissa?
I have not made it to that point. Not at all. I have not touched that car since finals. I found the keys for it the other day, and now it is a possibility to get in the car. But it's coming. We'll get there.
It's about like me. We don't really test. We don't. I mean, technically, we really don't do anything. Most of the time, my Blazer's already stockpiled up till the next show, and then I just got to load it back on the trailer. When I got back from finals, I ain't touched it. Uh, well, we went and did that Mike Jones show in Ashland City, and then I haven't touched either one of ours. And then I got a wild hair and decided to rip everything out, so now I have to fix it.
So is Justin and Danielle coming out with the same build as last year?
Justin is switching. He's got the same equipment, but he's switching up his enclosure right now. He's in the process of getting it finished. Danielle's is still the same at the moment. She's wanting to do some upgrades on it also. We got James that's going to be doing a big upgrade soon. Got Travis that's going to be doing a big upgrade soon. There's quite a few of us on the team that's going to be upgrading a lot.
Well, this is one of the teams that comes in, and usually they're 15 to 20 deep, and they all get there before I do. I can tell them
we always like to greet you.
10 a.m., they are there at 9 a.m.
If you can't get it done at home, get it done at the show, and you got more help.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing with me, and a lot of people hate it with me is I'd rather be early. So
I'd rather
I
get
always show
pole
up earlier
vaulted.
and earlier every time, and everybody's like, I mean, I don't want to get up that early. It's like, well, we can. It'll be all right. Suck it up. We'll get there early, get a nice spot.
Good evening, Mr. Michael Moore. I hope Bella's okay tonight. High Voltage is always such a great show. Hey,
Beth, those are the days when you need to make sure that he stops off at your Caribou or your Starbucks or whatever coffee place, and keeps you filled up all day on that. You might spend $50 on that and only $30 in the lanes, but hey, $50 worth of coffee keeps a lot of people, a little bit better.
I saw Aaron had an accident today. Is everybody okay in that accident?
Yeah, I actually seen a video of him just a few minutes ago, him jumping on his hood trying to flatten it back out.
God, I hate to see our base rigs get damaged. Because I know exactly how much work he's put into that one. But please let Aaron know that, our thoughts are with him. We'll help him in any way to get it back up and running.
Mm-hmm.
Just let us know what y'all need.
One doesn't understand 4 a.m. I've gotten up I've gotten up at 4 a.m. once and drove and got there at 4 a.m. the next day and waited
that is the key statement everybody on my team says to me every time we go to a show. Every time.
Hey, if you're meeting somewhere for breakfast to discuss team strategy, Waffle House is open 24/7 down south. We don't have them up here, but
well, see, we don't even stop like that.
Yeah.
Like we'll meet on the side of the interstate and pick everybody up as we're going up.
Oh yeah,
but we don't really stop and eat breakfast or nothing. I don't know. I'm used to just getting up and riding, and I'm used
when
to
I
trying to
see
get there
them, they're
early.
all in a perfect line.
Yeah, we always try to make sure we meet
great
up.
videos, though.
Well, those of us that I used to say I'd drive for a living, and I'd carry a small toolkit with me to repair the computers, and obviously you're driving right now as well, Nick. When we get a drive and our mode is we're just going to drive and get there, that's what you do. It's easier just to have that mentality sometimes as well.
Good evening, Carlos.
There is the guy who is loud.
It's harder. To me, it's harder because I can drive 700 miles a day. I can drive 900 miles a day, and I gotta kindly remind myself that not everybody else can do that.
No,
like my biggest trip, like going to Slamology, I have to physically kindly remind myself we're gonna stop here, 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 and here on the way up, so we can all stretch our legs because I can drive to Slamology and not stop.
See,
but not everybody else can.
Yeah, after doing 400 or 500 miles a day here in South Dakota, Western Minnesota, and for so long, for me to drive 500, 600, 700 miles is not a problem. For most people, that's 2 or 3 days for some of them.
Oh yeah. I try to make like the Slamology. I try to make it about every 2 hours we'll stop.
Oh man, that would irritate the crap out of me because I am that person who gets behind the wheel and just goes. I don't want to stop until I get there. All right. Well, we all watched Carlos last night with his Sundown, and I am dying to see some more.
Well, wasn't the Sundown last night? That was the sound check sub last night.
Yeah, that was a sound check.
The funky
Wasn't it?
groove up.
Technically, it was a sundown sub, but it was a
Well,
sound check
yeah.
sub.
It was a sundown motor. Let's put it
Yeah,
that way.
yeah, sundown motor.
There was some sun somewhere.
With some really, really good soft parts.
Quad quarter ohm coils. And
All
yeah,
right.
Frank
Does
and Wilbur.
anybody have a prediction on what the best sub is going to be by the end of the year?
End of season 1.
Yes, by the end of season 1. What's your prediction?
I would honestly say sound check sub if he can keep the amps from going and protect.
Hmm.
Because
I'm
that's,
gonna
I mean, I
respectfully
mean,
disagree.
I mean badly. I think it'll handle the most.
Yeah, I'm thinking it's
But
going to be
I don't
the
know what all he's
use
got
on
lined
the
up afterwards
electronic
either.
part.
I mean, there's a lot of subs I'd like to see get tested.
Oh, I know.
I mean, I'd
We
like to see
haven't
a
got
lot
to
of
see the
subs.
Neos yet.
I know he's got one of he's got the same sub that I run in my Blazer sitting up there, and it's 12. I'd love to see what it does. I mean, I know it ain't gonna throw up no 80, but I'd love to see what kind of numbers it does.
Well, and that's another thing. Just because it's not throwing up an 80 doesn't mean that it's not a good sub,
Right,
because those are
right.
ridiculous numbers anyway. That's
Yep.
like the Audio A sub. That sub is made for demoing, and it proved that it could do a whole lot more than just get down and demo. So please keep that in mind. It ain't all about if it did an 80. It's about showing where it failed and how well it can do. Because not all subs are built for this shit.
Nope.
I think the one that actually impressed me the most was the boss.
I don't know. I was really
I mean, I
impressed
mean, I
with the
mean,
Jester.
sadly, I mean, a $40 speaker. Sadly, that was the most impressive thing I've seen. All the others I know do really good, and I mean, I love a lot of the companies, and
Mm-hmm.
you know,
Oh, I do too.
I've never brand bashed. You know, I've got Planet Audio subs in my Tahoe. You know, I've ran everything from Lanzar to Sundown to Phi, SSA. I don't, you know, hell, I've ran Sony Explodes. But to see that Boss Audio throw a number like that was just, that was some hurt feelings.
Well,
But like
just
the
watching
DCs and all
all
that,
of them
I
do
mean,
that.
they throw up nice.
I'm not missing those long drives that much, Mark. Mark was my coworker, if you will, out of Sioux City, about 85 miles south of me here. And we would go on 400-mile drives in the same direction, only to be 300 miles away from each other still at the end of the day. Kind of sad.
Man, them 20Ks are legit.
No, and like you, Nick, when you've been around for 5 years, even 10 years, if you haven't ran 7 or 8 different styles and sizes of subs, you really haven't run enough yet.
All right.
Right.
Yeah. The name that I have up, he has
Everything.
this caddy, and I was expecting it to be windy and jumped in it in the lanes with him to run. Man, that thing got loud as hell on me. I was I was shocked by how loud this car is. That is a really great build. And matter of fact, he handed me a tag plate that he won, signed it for me, and now it's up on my wall because it's a picture of his build. And that's another thing. If y'all want your pictures on these tag plates, 4K, sideways, send it to the original post on the Base Wars website.
Yep.
Don't
Yeah,
send it
I
to
don't
the
think I sent
judges.
one sideways picture at all.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
I will make sure to pin
because
that
that's
post
another
right away.
tag layout.
That is something I got to do. I got to pin that post up to the top for everyone because I still see a lot of people sending them. Where do I send them? How do I get them to you? I want one specific. Well, specific is hard to do, but if we get them, we get them.
Mhm.
And feel free to look through them. I might
Well, I
not
would
have your picture on a first place plate, but
I
might
would
have it somewhere.
honestly put out there if my picture got put on, either my wife's or mine got put on a plate and somebody won it, I would pay anybody whatever they wanted for that plate. Just
That too.
Oh,
just throwing that out there just to have it. And I'll
that
send
is
you another
cool.
plate, to replace your first, second, or third.
We it doesn't have to be in the trunk, Mark. We can get you base somewhere.
Yeah, there's all kinds of ways to get base and still have room for kiddos.
You should see some of the golf carts I see with subwoofers in the ceiling, man.
Man, I've done some installs that are like a powered sub.
Yep.
Just a little bit of bass is enough to help most factory audio systems. Just a little bit.
A couple of 6.5s or a couple of 8s is more than enough for our common everyday listening. And there is nothing wrong with that either.
No, not at all. But there's a place for these small systems. Definitely. Not everybody has to come out swinging and scalping. There are smaller classes.
You'd be like me. I got two little bitty 12s in this.
There you go.
And man, you pull up and meter that for me, and I'm just going to be tickled. That's like I had an 18 wheeler meter for me out in Texas. Man, that was the most fun. And then I got to see the inside of it and was like, damn, that was really nice.
That silver one, wasn't it?
Hmm?
I think it was silver.
Yes, Mr. Tennyson.
Yeah, yeah. I remember seeing pictures and videos of it.
But he pulled up with a trailer with hay on it and drop trailer and come metered, hooked back up and went right back to work.
I would have let him pull through
But I will say this,
if he was able to.
did not come to the show until that 18 wheeler was spotless. It was absolutely impeccably clean.
I can't say that this time of year up here about any 18 wheeler, unfortunately. You're coming up here, you're going through the slush and the snow and the ice and things that start happening.
Oh yeah,
They
it
get
stays
dirty
dirty.
really quick, unfortunately.
612s and still room for kids.
Oh,
That's kind of cool. Good evening.
there's
Good to see
Jeremy.
you tonight.
I haven't seen Mr. Sutton comment in a while.
Hmm. Loves that small system. You should. That's her sniper winner for the year.
Who's that, Courtney?
Yeah.
Small system.
Small.
Yeah,
Only competitor in the class. I'm
six
sorry.
DS18 ZXI 10s in a center console build. It's
It's
small.
like wild.
So, if we let Nick build a center console in the truck he's driving, now that I could get behind something like that.
I'd like to put 418s on top bunk.
Hmm.
No, we need a sniper class build for semis. I think that would.
That'd
I
be
think that
fun.
might take Courtney.
I would love to have just a class for our semis. That would be fun.
Well, we do have room technically, but and actually, as I'm looking at the score sheet here, because I always have one handy, we got a couple classes that we don't really necessarily need listed, but there's always a possibility that things could change. They won't change mid-year, but I could see some changes happening.
Travis, you're right. That flex sounded really, really good. He had mainly a kicker system in that, and that was really good on clarity. I was quite happy with that.
Nice to see some SQ once in a while, or rather, hear some SQ once in a while.
Yeah.
Even though it doesn't
Remind
get
us
talked
that we
about as
still
much
play
as us,
music.
but and speaking of total, that is kind of one of the other things that you got to consider with your vehicles. If damage happens to them, do you know some people? Yes, I did say SQ, Brad. Do you know some people that can help you fix it? Do you know a good body shop in your area? Get in good with the body guys and gals in your area and explain to them what the system is and if they have questions, because they're going to do it to what they've got to do. But if you have something ran a certain way in your vehicle and they need to cut an A-pillar because the front door got damaged somehow and they need to go through your A-pillar for something to get you a whole new front clip or rear, let them know that you've got some special wiring in there. Because otherwise, you're going to have to rerun a whole bunch of wires when you get the vehicle back.
That's it. And another thing, take out some customization insurance on your stuff. That way your audio is covered.
That too.
Because it's terrifying if a vehicle totals out and your equipment got damaged and they won't cover it. There we go.
Nice.
He did a 50 in a sniper box at the end of the year. It took him all year to get his 50, but man, I was so tickled to see him get it. And yes, sir,
Yeah,
that is a good question.
we had to read the rules and have the rules explained to us on that class to do what we could do with it.
That's it.
Well, let's see. Right now, there's 4 scores in that class. Everything from a 107 to a 150.67. And, second place, 150.42. So might have to up the volume knob 1 notch or 2 or 5. As long as you're not clipping at the source.
Keep it clean.
I like clipping though.
Keep it clean or make it meter. One of the two. Just saying. So we got anything else going on with your team?
Clean signal's better.
Because I know there's quite a bunch of y'all. And y'all have some really good builders on your team. So who's rebuilding?
I'm hoping Courtney will this year. Down the road. Travis is going to be rebuilding here soon. The General is going to be rebuilding here soon, or building a new vehicle, from what we was told the other day. Justin's in the process of finishing his right now. Danielle's going to be looking at possible upgrades. Best looking at upgrades. I'm doing the whole trailer queen thing right now, and then hopefully upgrading some equipment and adding more power. Uh, James is going to be upgrading and possibly doing a full rebuild in his. Mike is still upgrading in his. We just got his new subs ordered for his truck.
What was the owner of the Impala? You know exactly.
Willie.
Yes. Is that car going to be the same this year?
I'm not sure if he's bringing that car back or if he's bringing another car.
That's a really, really clean build. Love that car.
I know he had a minor incident with it and they had to go to a body shop.
Oh.
So he I think he got rear-ended or something like that, something with a trunk. So they took it all out, but I'm sure it'll be back too.
Okay, so we got one more. Mr. Charlie Howell's fourth order with upgrades.
Yep.
He was doing great at the end of the season.
Yeah, we're yeah, I did forget Charlie. I'm
he
actually
was doing excellent.
We're gonna pull his flat wall out, man. We're gonna be doing a fourth order with 815s in it.
And
he's gonna come out a whole lot louder.
For a lot of y'all that don't know, Team Darkside Creation does come out heavy, and they run for me in North Alabama. I pretty much know each one of them by name and vehicle, and if they've made a change, yeah, I realize it. Good to see you. Got a show coming up with him, coming up really soon. Turned down for what? I'm gonna drive all the way up there for that, just because last year it was so fun. So if y'all want to trailer some of these vehicles up, go to Turn Down for What with me, y'all are more than welcome to.
That would be the beginning of March, the 9th.
We might be able to do more long distance shows ourselves. Me and the wife was just talking about it earlier about getting a new tow pig instead of using my Tahoe, so I can get a gooseneck trailer to haul both the Blazers. She don't like driving. She'd rather sit in the passenger seat, sip her coffee, and nap. So we'll be able to
Turn Down for What is Greenville, North Carolina, correct?
Yes, it is. That one is at the fairgrounds there.
Pitts County Fairgrounds?
Yep.
All right, I'm doing good today. And he will have the gates open for us so we can drop trailers off.
Man, you did that one early too. Look at that. Posted at 6:28 in the morning. You hadn't been to bed yet, I'm guessing, on the 22nd.
Nope. And we have a 2-day show this year.
A week ago Friday.
There we go. Well, I can remember shows I love going to, because I got to see some really loud vehicles at that show. You know, I had people with like last names of like Haddock pull up in the lanes. And I'm like, oh, I want to see. Y'all have no idea how excited I get over certain people's vehicles. And it's because I know how much work they've put into them. So I will travel just to see a certain base vehicle. Like the whole Texas trip, it wasn't about doing the Base Force show. I wanted to go see Old Silver. I really did. Certain vehicles I will travel to go look at. And
Yeah, I
North
like the old
Carolina has
trucks.
a bunch of them. But I am grateful we now have our location for Hazel Green back. That took a minute. And I am sorry it took so long, but trying to work out a schedule with that many kids and us to where we
Oh
don't,
yeah,
you know, affect them. There we go. Man,
it's
I
just a,
can't.
it's just a good environment over there.
It really is.
Plus, it's like 20 minutes from my house. I really like that
Yeah.
part. I still get up early and go over there though.
All right.
Everybody
Let's
else
see.
just has to drive far.
Yes, sir. I did see the video of Bella and yours. We need something big in Hazel Green. Yeah, we do. We'll come up with something because that's a good location for us to do whatever we need to do. If we need to get some bounce houses out there for kiddos, we can do that. Absolutely, that's an incredible build. But y'all just tell us what y'all want at some of these shows. Granted, every base force judge is broke.
Some more than
So
others.
keep that in mind. Just if there's something special we need to do at shows, just let us know.
Billy especially. I mean, he sells his hair, so
Yeah. I heard he got 20 grand for the last, head. Yes, I know you do, hon. But I try to support y'all the best I can too. Do whatever we can to keep our lifestyle alive. All right, well, it seems our news is kind of short because it's cold outside and there ain't a whole lot of shows going on. Just a whole lot of scheduling.
a lot of scheduling. Like I said, guys, there's 20 shows that we put up in the last week or so. I know that I've got one, two, three, I've got 4 or 5 to put up here, hopefully 6. So get some upper Midwest shows happening. I know Jimmy and Sonia have a couple that they don't have planned out completely yet, but people have asked me when they were. So
That's right. If
we will
you
see
need a
more
show,
soon.
contact your base force judge. If you
Yep.
don't know who your base force judge is, go to our website and just ask the question. We got y'all. We'll figure it out. But everybody is booking currently. I need shows in Montgomery and Georgia. I always need shows in Georgia. So if
Someone
you
asked me
can
about
help
that on
out
Messenger
there,
a couple nights ago, and I pointed them your way.
happy to go.
I will take
Yeah,
shows anywhere in the upper Midwest. I'll even go to areas where we don't have a judge yet, like Wisconsin or Illinois if we need to. So get someone, unless they're closer, unless Pop Tart might want to cruise into Illinois, like Champaign-Urbana on the east side. I'll hit the west side like Peoria or something.
so that's
But
it. You never know which judge wants to go where. That's like, you wouldn't think that I would want to go to North Carolina, but it's a Kyle Rutherford show and I want to go to North Carolina. So I'm going to go.
I'd like to make a trip out there.
I mean, that's some beautiful land up there.
I mean,
And
I've been all through there. I've just never been to one of the shows out there.
and where he has his shows is extremely comfortable for all of us.
good evening there, Matt.
Set up nicely. There's restrooms, there's food. So we were all quite happy, even though it was cold as shit. And I had to have Billy drive me home. It started snowing. Y'all know I can't drive in snow, so Billy had to drive me. Good
Sad.
evening, sweetie. But so I guess we don't have a whole lot more to discuss unless somebody wants to make some kind of weird announcement that we're going somewhere we're not used to.
That's another thing, guys. We'll bring that up here because Brad just mentioned it. Double Down Custom Bike, and he mentioned was it 242 customs or 252 customs earlier?
Right?
Like those places on Facebook. If they're able to host the show for you, like them. Give them a
Yes.
little bit of extra support as well because they're not there to necessarily make money as well. Thank you, Kyle. I couldn't remember if it was 252 or 242. But make
252.
sure you like those places as well and shop at those places. If it's a food place, go in, at least get a sandwich or a Coke or Pepsi or whatever. Get something to drink.
Seriously. And like for these audio shops, you might
Buy
not buy
something.
anything, but if you share for them,
That helps them.
somebody
helps out.
will eventually buy. So go and like these places, share, do what you can. Because, you know, in all honesty, our lifestyle is kind of dying out if we don't keep it alive. So share what you can. Help out your brothers. And, it's a hard way to make a living if you're an audio shop. So help them out.
Mhm.
These box builders,
It ain't 9 to
help
5,
them.
that's for sure.
Do what you can for them. Share their work. Share the photos. Share a show, please. Good Lord. That's a big one. Share.
Yep. As Brad just said, just promoter and trying to give back all you can. Give
Mm-hmm.
back. It doesn't take much to, when you get to the show, check in on Facebook, check in, take some pictures, share them on Facebook, share them on Instagram, share them on whatever other TikTok thing you're doing out there on social media.
And just because it isn't your team that's over there demoing, it doesn't matter. Take the video anyway. Share that. There's some great people out there.
Yep.
It's all for the love of it. So do what you can. Help each other out. If you know somebody's got a shop that's struggling, simple Facebook share. Anything you can do. It doesn't cost you a thing. All right. I'm going to get off my soapbox now. Are y'all ready to say goodnight?
we all like the rabbit hole, Brad. That there's so many rabbit holes we could go down every week on this, but we just don't. Because I'm not going to get into XYZ is better or best.
All right. Be on the lookout. We've got Hazel Green that will be booking. That will be probably not a monthly show, probably about every 6 weeks. Aniston will be a monthly show.
Yes.
So we've got shows that are going to be regular shows. I'm trying to get regular locations where it's comfortable for us. Trying not to do a whole lot of car shows because my guys don't do car shows. My guys like to play music. So we're going to try that for a little while, see how that works out. If there's any way we can help y'all, just let us know. We appreciate everybody that come and spoke to us in the comments. Mr. Nick, thank you for showing up.
Yes, ma'am.
And
Thank you.
Matt, as far as Power Hog, I do need to call them because I would like to book with them about every 6 weeks. I would love to work over there. So if y'all can think of anywhere we need to be, call us. But until then, be next Monday night for Billy and Jimmy Live. And we will say good night to y'all.
Good night to you all, and enjoy Richard's show this weekend out there in Fresno, guys, gals.